everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Natasha. For those of you guys that are new, welcome. For those of you guys that are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Please just take a second to subscribe down below. That's the only way to support me and my channel. And if you want to know more about me, you can follow me on Instagram as well. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Today I want to talk about Alexander Wang. He is a famous fashion designer and he has recently been accused of sexually assaulting males and trans models. So this is a very serious accusation, and I just wanted to get into the details of those that have spoken out and what we know about what has happened so far. So after reading an insider article, I was able to gather a little bit more information. I do have my computer here, so if you see me look down, I have all my information here. So on Monday, two Instagram accounts that are very known for exposing wrongdoings in the fashion world actually posted the accusations. So it was Shit Model Management and Diet Product. They both compiled accusations made by people who say that New York City-based designer sexually assaulted them. There were some allegations that were made anonymously, but there were two people that actually spoke out and revealed themselves. And as of yet, Alexander Wang has not responded to anything. He actually even turned off his comment section on Instagram, and I'm guessing he's trying to figure it out with his lawyers, or I don't even know what he's doing, but he has not said a word. So the accusation started with graphic designer Owen Mooney, who shared his story on TikTok, and it started getting traction. And so this is exactly what Owen had to say. I was in a club in New York City 2017 waiting to watch a performer. I had been separated from my friends and no one could move because the club was so packed with people. The person next to me took advantage of the fact we were unable to move, so I was trapped next to him and he started to stroke my leg and groping my crotch. I froze still because I was in shock, and when I turned to look who it was, I was even more shocked to see it was Alexander Wang. I didn't say anything, while I regret, but I just had to slowly move myself away from him. Later on, in a different part of the club, his friend pushed me into him to get my attention like we were in a school playground. He began to throw his hands around me and hang off of me. I was too polite and said hi, but again, just wanted to get away from him. The reason I spoke out almost 4 years later was because I was made aware of other much worse sexual assaults he has made. And people need to be aware that he is a huge predator in the fashion industry. There are too many predators in fashion using their power to abuse and manipulate people. And since Shit Model Management have shared my story, even more stories about Wang have surfaced. So the more he is called out for his outrageous actions, the sooner they'll stop. And after reading that and studying psychology for 4 years while I was in college, I understood why he didn't speak out right away. A lot of the times when people experience sexual trauma, they have short-term and long-term effects that come with those experiences. And short-term can include anything from shock, confusion, fear, withdrawal, and he was clearly experiencing shock, which he said himself, which is why he didn't know how to act, what to say, how to even take care of the situation after the fact. And this happens to a lot of people, which is why people stay quiet for so long and then decide that they need to speak out. And so for me, it's really sad that people sometimes in power take advantage because of their status and because they feel like they're entitled to do things that are inappropriate, but for them it's okay because people will allow it, and it's just not okay. And so the fact that this gentleman is speaking on this, really, I just commend him for doing so, because it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot to expose yourself to relive that experience, because when you're talking about it, you start visualizing everything mentally and really do start feeling all those things that you felt when you initially experienced it, as if you were experiencing it all over again. So it does take a lot of strength, a lot of willpower, and just a lot of, I want to say, mental healing in a way, to kind of speak out against things like this. The model management company responded and they said, Alexander Wang is absolutely known for these things you're posting. One friend of mine who is a trans man was in a limo for an after party with him a while ago. Upon getting inside the car, they were given water and they felt uneasy about the whole thing because Alex was making sure they all finished their water. A few moments after, they noticed they were rolling and had been given Molly water. This was a regular occurrence because a year after being told this story, I also heard other people confirm that they also got drugged on the way to an after party. Most of them left, obviously, because they were unknowingly on a lot of MDMA. Thank you for sharing this. I know multiple male models who went through similar situations and feel uncomfortable coming forward in fear of not working again or seeming weak, which is so heartbreaking. He puts drugs and drinks or pressure male models into parking in those sketchy things so that he can get his way, especially by inviting them to his apartment. He ignores consent and takes advantage of upcoming models. He's so disgusting. This sounds like my encounter with him at Beldam on Avenue C a few years ago. He picked me out randomly and wanted to buy me shots, then really pressured me to drink out of his huge bottle of vodka he was toting around. The memory is a bit blurry, but I remember being dragged, like tugged out of the bar to his taxi. I can't remember anything else from the night, but remember waking up in his bed being so confused and he had taken my pants off and had his head down there. I had no idea who this was until I saw his face. I woke up stunned and confused and with a gash between my brows from the bottle he hit me with while forcing me to drink the night before. It was so scary waking up there very lost. So if you know a little bit about Alexander Wang, he loves to party. He's known for partying it up. He's known for being at after parties, clubs, house parties, all that good stuff. Obviously, when you're in a scenario where you're partying, you're drinking, sometimes you're not sure, what people are giving you, right? You're just taking it, you're having fun, you're having a good time. Little do you know or little do you expect that you're gonna get drugged. A lot of these males don't speak up because they may be afraid that they won't get work again, because maybe they feel like people won't believe them, maybe they're just too embarrassed to even speak about it, maybe they feel a little bit of guilt that they played a part in what happened to them. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into reasons why someone might not speak out against an experience that they encountered. And now that people are speaking up, this is the time that we have to take action. It's sad to see all these people go through a situation very similar and for someone not to take responsibility of their own actions and be held accountable for those actions. And then the stories go on. So after seeing your stories, I want to add my voice to the many so that Alexander Wang is exposed for the monster he is. Once after a show, he did the same Molly water trick on me. I didn't know at the time, but I'm bipolar and the Molly sent me into a manic episode followed by psychosis. His smug prank literally put me in the hospital for weeks and ruined my career. Still, in some horrible way, I'm grateful that I had to be admitted to a psych unit that night because who knows what would have happened had things gone as he planned. It happened in 2015. He threw a party at the Rah Rah Room for his new store in London. My friend worked at the store, so I got an invite to attend. It was a fun night that went really sour when he wanted to continue the party at his hotel room. I'm not a big drinker, and when I do drink, I get very drunk really fast. I was introduced to him, and he took a liking to myself and a few other guys because we were dancing and having a very fun time. We ended up staying very late, and he invited a couple of us back to his hotel room. Anyway, he became very sexually aggressive and forceful when I declined his offer to go to his hotel room, especially as I had seen him and a few others taking drugs and getting high, the way he wouldn't take no for an answer and basically wouldn't let me go. The fact that all of these stories are coming out, male models, trans models, straight guys. So these are allegations on allegations on allegations. And then Azealia Banks actually gave her 2 cents and she said, Alexander Wang, what is the tea? You out here raping the girls? Because someone messaged her saying Alexander Wang sexually assaults trans women and needs to be brought down. He's an obsessive, violent snake. He assaulted a few girls I know in New York City. I know of 3 incidents spanning from 2015 through now, but knowing him, there's definitely more. He tries to silence anyone who speaks out. I mean, spanning from 2015 through now, it's a long time. And it's a long time to keep these things swept under the rug. And that's what the model management was saying, that the reason everyone is saying that they've always heard Alexander Wang is creepy, but it's always swept under the rug, is because male model stories are so often ignored in these conversations. Their experiences are so much more complex. It is expected for men to keep silent. Their agents are often the ones putting them in these situations. We can support them by listening to their stories and letting them know that we are here for them. And it is true that male and trans models are often overlooked in the conversation of sexual assault when it comes to the industry. And so from a psychological perspective, I wanted to talk about the long-term effects that these experiences can cause. It's very detrimental to one's mental, emotional, and physical being. Long-term effects can include anything from post-traumatic stress disorder, eating disorders, sexual dysfunction, depression, illicit use of drugs, alcohol abuse. I mean, the list goes on. And that's why it's so important to speak out about these things, because not only do you want to bring awareness to what has happened to you and to what potentially has happened to other people and what could happen to other people, but you also want to put a stop to it. And so as the story unfolds, I might cover it, I might not. I do a little bit of celebrity trending news on this channel, not just fashion, beauty, hair. But if you guys do want to see how the story plays out, let me know, comment below, and I'll continue doing videos about it, kind of just updating you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah!